Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I am Samantha. And we are back with another episode of the podcast.
What's up? What's up?
How are you?
Tired. How are you?
Yeah, you're a working girl now. You're in the workforce. And you went to your exercise class. How was that?
How are you? My exercise class is actually easier today. I'm like, oh, I like this lady. She was very, very easy. So I'm happy. What about you?
Good. I'm cool. I am, as you can see, in a different location. I'm pet sitting for my sister. She's in Miami, so I'm in charge of the 2 dogs and Dinero, her cat. So that has been, I mean, of course it's been fun, but it's a lot of work. And like I told you, Jupiter likes to show off at his auntie's house. So I've been just trying to remind him, mom's here now. We have rules and stuff like that. So as you can see, he's sitting behind me trying to, I'm really hoping that he will go to sleep instead of bothering Dinero. So
I'm thankful. Yeah, the dogs. I'm a single dog mom right now as well, but the dogs are pretty chill. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, Mello is on her things, on her blanket. Tonks is laying by the door. Thank God, so I can just relax.
I literally just had to split him and Dinero up because they were just playing. So
why can't they play?
You want to hear them on this podcast?
It would have been fun.
Okay, Alexis. You would be like, get your dog, because
I wouldn't.
He's going to be making sounds, and yeah, it's a lot. So
that's
look
hilarious.
Look at him now. It's like,
my question for you is, what were you doing at 8:30? I'm just curious.
Girl, I was waiting for you, but I was
on?
At 8 o'clock, I was like, let me eat something real quick. So I made food. And at 8:30, I was walking out of my bathroom after getting ready with all my equipment already set up.
We love to see it.
But yeah, it's just like things happen.
What happened in the 15 minutes? I'm just curious.
What happened in the 15 minutes?
You came out of your bathroom, then what?
Then I had to get Jupiter and Dinero to chill the fuck out. I had to pay our Riverside account if you really want me to get into it.
Get into it, yeah.
So I paid that bill for us, and then of course I'm at a different location, so I'm trying to make sure that Callie is situated. If you want me to turn to the left, Callie's over here, nice and comfy.
She looks so cute.
Jupiter's behind me. I had to get the lighting right. I had to make sure we're all set to go. So that's what I was doing, okay?
Thank you for the recap. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What someone's doing. It's good to hear what someone's doing. I actually appreciate that. Like, when someone is late, I'd rather them just tell me exactly what they were doing and all the things that made them late, rather than just be like, hey, y'all, what's up? I actually, like, now that I think about it, I actually appreciate it, because then it's like, okay, I can see why that took whatever long. When people just like are like, oh, whatever, or they're just like, hey, what's up? Or they just act like nothing. I'm just like, what were you doing? So it's actually, I'm like,
I will tell you exactly what I'm always doing, because it's always something. I'm not just dilly dallying. I'm like trying to make sure that we're good,
Thanks for telling me. But yeah, I'm chill though. Like, I mean, I'm excited for Julia to get back, because I just can't go back to this life anymore.
The single dog mom is life in
Austin,
real.
and it's hard. I mean, especially in Austin, where I had like no family to watch Mello if she needed something. It was like truly like who type shit, and that shit's hard. And so like I'm like, yeah, these 2 dogs, I'm just like, I'm ready for you to get back. Yeah, especially when one of them is a little rowdy.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, we talked about this we live in a society that is not made for single people.
Oh my gosh,
I just feel
Anyways.
like, it's hard out here. And I think we're supposed to be living more in community. So we shouldn't be like, always responsible for cooking dinner every single night. It's like, I feel like back in the day it was like shared responsibility.
So are you cooking tonight? The people want to
I
know.
did. I actually did cook
Ooh, what did
before
you
we got on the
cook?
phone. I was like, let me eat, let me cook.
What'd you cook?
I cooked the Trader Joe's orange chicken and
Oh my God,
fried
I
rice.
love that orange chicken. And I love their fried rice. Woo! The orange
Shout
chicken from
out
Trader
to
Joe's.
shout out to Whitney and Danielle for giving me some. They were like, "Do you want anything in the kitchen?"
I
So
mean, that is the best. Like in Austin, I would go once a month to Trader Joe's and I would get like a new thing of the orange chicken and it was so good. I haven't been to Trader Joe's since I've been in Brooklyn though, which is crazy because I just go to Key Foods.
that is crazy because there is one. I remember I went to. I think there's one in Queens or something.
There is one, yeah.
It's a drive. But yeah, so I have that. What about you? Did you eat dinner
Yes,
before or
I like I
after
mean
your workout class?
after. I cannot eat before. Yeah, I just had my leftovers. I cooked on Sunday, so this is like the last of the leftovers. So I ate it today, and then Julia comes tomorrow, and we're eating out because I'm like, I'm not cooking for one day because I leave again on Thursday. So I'm like, I'm not cooking for one day. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I ate. It was quick. I was like, let me get ready, but it
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. Let's get to it. Let's talk about trial. Who's
Let's
on
do
trial,
it.
friend?
Well, I
Or
know.
what's on trial?
I think the BET Awards. I don't know why I said it like that. The BET Awards needs to come up to the trial. We have things to
Absolutely.
discuss about the BET
A lot
Awards.
of people, when I posted on Instagram, like, what should we talk about, said BET Awards. So, yes, we should definitely talk about
Yes.
the BET Awards. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, that's like a
There's
loaded
so many things
question.
that happened.
Yes, it
Well, let me
really
ask you a more
did.
targeted question.
Uh-huh.
What? So, just for everyone, like, the BET Awards did come on this past Sunday. What would you say were the best, like, standout performances? What would you say were the standout performances? That could either be one negative and one positive. So like what's something that stand out to you in a positive way and then what's a performance that stood out to you in a negative way or something that
Um,
happened.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the performances actually were very good. Like we got like a lot of good, I feel, performances. Like Victoria Monet, obviously.
So Victoria Renee,
Meg the Stallion put on a good opening act. Um I like Glorilla. I just think she's adorable. I told you that.
she is
Tyler
adorable.
did good. Tyler
She,
did really amazing, actually.
wow. So I was actually really impressed with Tyler. Like I I loved the whole like production was just so good. I was like, oh, this is actually a performance. It's not just like her standing up there singing. Like it was like the fake lions, but the lions were the dancers in the cage. And then when she
Mhm.
was like dancing with them, I was like, okay, Tyler, like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's what
proud of
I'm
her.
saying. I was like, I feel like we got some like really good performance. I didn't get to the whole like to the end, so I didn't
Mhm.
see Lauren Hill.
Wait, can we talk about Victoria Monet for a second though? I feel like she deserves a little bit of like
Absolutely.
time.
Yes.
So Victoria Monet did two performances. The first one she did was like from her, like you would say like her self performance, and
Yes. She
she
performed
performed. Go ahead.
she performed on My Mama and
All right.
All Right. Yes.
I thought she did fantastic, and like I don't know, it's just like it was so shocking how much of a production this was as well. She had three different outfit changes. So I was like, wow. In a matter
Yes.
of like 2-3 minutes, she
Mhm.
did the whole "Oh My Mama" dance, which I think is so smart of her to like continuously do that section of the dance
Mhm.
everywhere she goes. Because
Mhm.
I really feel like she's trying to do like the Crazy in Love breakdown. You know how like Beyonce has that same dance she does for Crazy in Love? I feel like that's what she's trying
Mhm.
to do with "Oh My Mama."
Mhm.
I thought she did fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's one of the girls that hits it every
Every
time.
time.
She sounded really good. She looked
Mhm.
amazing, just looked beautiful.
Yes.
And like you
Body.
said, there was a lot of outfit changes. They did like the water thing, which I thought was
Oh, yeah.
it's brave to do that stuff.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, she did really, really amazing in her first performance that she did.
I know, and then when she did the Usher tribute, it
Oh
was
my
you
god.
said you have to reposted that, right?
I did. I said that to you on the phone today. You didn't hear me.
Oh, dang, man. But but
But
yeah,
yeah, she did. She did the Beyonce Bad Girls,
yes,
the iconic
iconic.
performance. And it was cool because, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, she kind of did a combination of her outfits. Like, she wasn't
Mhm,
wearing exactly what Beyonce wore when she
mhm.
did the Bad Girl dance. She
Yeah.
kind of wore like her almost like her baby boy performance outfit, like the
Mm.
all silver.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And yes, I just loved her and Tiana Taylor. That
Yeah, and I forget that Teyana Taylor,
dancing.
like, I like her voice. Like, I feel like people sleep on her so much
Oh
that,
my god,
like, we
yes.
don't ever really hear her, but I'm like, "Oh my god, I forget you can, like, sing." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Coco Jones singing "There Goes My Baby," like, I literally replayed
Yes.
a clip on it of it, like, on TikTok on repeat today because she looks so sexy, and then
Yes.
her voice is like butter to me, like, when she
Yes.
was singing it, I was like, "Yes,"
Yeah.
like,
It's
I'd
like you're
rather have
just
this
hitting
version, to
it.
be honest.
Yeah, it's like you are just hitting that note, girl. But yeah, I agree. I think this was like, I mean, I haven't seen all of Coco Jones' performances, but I feel like
Mhm.
this was definitely a standout moment.
Absolutely.
Especially like you said, like she did have some of that sex appeal that I've been like kind
Hell
of
yeah.
waiting a little bit. And mind you, sorry to the Coco Jones fans, like I might just be sleep, but I feel like this was a first time for me seeing her like in that, and it felt natural. It didn't feel like,
Yeah, I agree.
too forced or whatever.
Agree. What
And yeah,
was
she sounded amazing. She sounded amazing. Yeah.
Hell yeah, she sounded amazing. I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for
I'm
her.
trying to think if
We
there was
have to
any
talk
other
about
performances.
well, I wanna hear from you on, like, what if anything stood out to you negatively, and then I wanna talk about Normani for a second. But go ahead.
Um, what stood out to me negatively? There's usually a lot going on at the beach. Like I feel like it's always just like a little bit of like chaos. Like you can just see like,
Mhm.
okay, like this isn't the most organized. But it still usually comes together. um, and I feel like
How'd you feel about Sexy Red? I'm, like, shocked you didn't
that's
say
what I
that.
was. That's what can Alexis. You don't
'Cause
let
you
me
were like,
get
"The
to it.
performances were good." I'm like,
They
"Samantha, really?"
were. I mean, that Alexis, we got like to have like a few really good performances, I feel like is kind of rare. Like usually I come away with like one person that was whatever. But I'm like Tyler
Mhm.
and Victoria Monet, and I got
Mhm.
like Megan did good and
Absolutely.
Glorilla, all that. So, but yeah, Sexy Red, it's like, okay, what I want to say about Sexy Red is like her performance technically was not terrible,
Mhm.
like
I
it was
agree,
like
yeah.
she had the room moving like she has.
Mhm.
Again, like
The
black
production,
black
like, the
people love a beat, yes. And
mhm.
like the production, like you said, like
The
it was all
dancers.
the dancers, like, it was um it was thought out and like done. But yeah, it's just Sexy Red and I was just so scared she was gonna have a Make America Great
Girl,
Again
me
hat
too.
on the stage, especially with the president's theme. But I saw
Oh my
that
god, I got scared at that point.
that's her album name, I guess, like In Sexy Red We Trust or something.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I feel weird about like BET platforming somebody that is literally a current president like
Mhm.
Trumpster.
Mhm.
Um and has just been doing like some weird stuff, like
Absolutely.
just kind of being uh used, I feel, by like the Republican Party to
I
like
agree. I
Just as
totally
Amber
agree.
Roses too. I swear that I mean I would pay money to say they're like getting paid to do this
They
stuff.
might be, but it's
So
sad because I'm like you're doing music. Do you not trust your music enough that like it could financially make you secure that you need this type of money? I don't know. I feel like there's certain limits to like I wouldn't. I have boundaries to like how far I would sell my soul, I guess.
I mean
And
for
it's just
sure.
like, and it's just like, especially on the heels of this like Supreme Court decision they made with Trump earlier this week, it's so irresponsible to me that any black platform would give attention to any black person that could possibly sway or like influence votes in a Trump into like to Trump. And so it's
Mhm.
shocking to me that like I said on the heels of the Supreme Court decision, BET still kept her
Can you
as
tell
like
us
a
what the Supreme Court decision
yeah,
was?
so like I'm sure many of the listeners know or pretty much all of them, but basically like they ruled that
Girl,
like I mean, I just feel like if you care about America, you knew out of all the things you knew about Roe versus Wade getting overturned, and you know about this,
but
which
we're
is the fact
talking
that
about where we tell the audience the
yes,
thing.
let's tell them. I'm going to tell them, but like Trump, I mean, not Trump, the Supreme Court ruled that like presidents have immunity, like absolute immunity basically on official acts, but on most official acts, I'm pretty sure, but and not on unofficial acts. And so that's been like a huge thing because, Trump has a many trials coming up
Mm-hmm.
and his sentencing, he is coming up for the New York case, which actually got moved because of this decision.
Mm-hmm.
But
A
basically,
lot of people don't know this happening. So thank you
and
for educating us.
there's this next president has they can fill seats on the Supreme Court, and
Mm-hmm.
so and just get judges in general throughout the country. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's I mean, I hope people see this as like a as a warning. It's like if Trump comes, they're going to be more conservative people on the as judges,
I mean,
and
we
they're going
know
to be more
this.
crazy ass things. So that's why I'm saying it's so irresponsible for someone like a sexy red to be platformed, I feel like in my eyes, knowing that like she's a Trump supporter, especially during an election year, especially when the election is like the most critical election we've had like in modern times. So I was kind of shocked by that.
I mean, I agree that it's crazy to platform her, but then I think about like just this business and like
Mm-hmm.
BET and just, you know what I'm saying? Like the rabbit hole goes pretty far. So they don't really care about, like I feel like people they put, the commercials and I am curious like who makes these decisions? Like why? Like maybe they had her booked before the
Yeah,
Trump stuff.
possibly.
I don't know.
It's
But
interesting though because it makes me think there can be some leeway with performing because I think about Normani and how like she got injured, so they either filled her spot or moved on, just took it out of the performance. So it makes me
mhm.
think they could remove someone if they needed to.
Yeah, they definitely could. I just am curious like I don't know. I just feel like these companies, like that's like, Diddy or something like that would be crazy. Even though people do still honor these,
Absolutely.
people that we know have been abusers. But anyways, it's like this. I feel like, yes, it's irresponsible. I agree. And I think that's why whoever is at the top and made this decision, they were like, okay, we gotta, or whoever maybe even below them were like, okay, if Sexy Red's gonna perform, like, we need to put the Trump commercial right after or like whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, it's interesting to see what's allowed. Like, okay, BET is obviously not like the Democratic commercials play, but they're also okay with like
Well,
this girl going on.
did you notice? I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed this like when Taraji did her little spiel on like voting this
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like more people were on their feet for Sexy Red's performance than like cheering and clapping
I
for
mean,
Taraji
that's
being
for
like
sure.
cheering and clapping when Taraji was like vote, and basically vote for Biden, but also just don't stay home, vote. And I'm just like, that's
Mm-hmm.
so fucking sad. Like, why is it that literally I was looking at the people seated behind her, they were just like looking at their phone, looking around, and I'm like, y'all have more fucking shit to say about, like, y'all have more support for this fucking Trump supporter than you do for this woman just saying to vote. Like, that's so
I
sad. It's so
know.
fucking
And it's
sad.
Taraji. Like, it's just
Right.
support her when she's making this statement, especially like, thank you, Taraji, for saying it, like,
Right. The
and
fuck?
I again, like I told you, I was like, Black people we love a beat. And so, yes, people were on their feet because I just feel like it was literally like coming through. Like, like they just cannot help but like whatever. Cause I'm telling
I
you,
mean, it's a cute song, but I'm
the
like,
beats
bitch,
are
what?
catchy. The beats are catchy. And so we have to, it's just so hard because I feel like, as we know, there's so many Black people and it's hard to get us all to be like, you know,
What?
I don't know, just like care
I
or,
got you. Okay.
or just like do
Mm-hmm.
this or whatever. And so, yeah, I guess I just am like, I just am in, like, it's just, I just have to be an observer, right? Like, like of life and just in general, because I just feel like it is crazy, but I don't know. I'm just
No, I
kind of,
agree.
you know,
It is crazy, and it just like I don't know. It made me really sad. I mean, it makes me sad, but I was just kind of it made me judgmental because I'm just like, why are more people fucking standing and dancing and cheering for her, and then Taraji saying fucking vote, and then Taraji, I feel like yeah, I don't know. It was just, and Taraji, I feel like was talking about the Supreme Court shit too, and I'm just like, okay.
hold on one
But
second,
whatever. It is
Alexis.
what it is. I want to hear, but I'm also sad and disappointed at Normani. Like, I was so excited to see her perform at this fucking BET Awards. I was ready. I was this is her moment because it's like the rollout for the album was bad, objectively bad.
I
No, some
know.
people didn't know about the album. It didn't like debut in the like on Billboard 100 in like a top 200 in the like at a high level. So I'm like, this is her way to like re-get it back in like Black people's ear. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that she got injured and could not perform, literally, I'm like, someone has a curse on Normani because I'm just like,
That's so
this is so
sad.
sad. Like it's just like it's like another moment of opportunity for you to
I
be like
know.
blasted off, and it's completely
I
fucking fumbled.
know. Especially on this night where there was
Right.
it was almost like the new girls were being ushered
Yes, they
in.
were. That's a good point.
It was like the new girls. We got Tyler, we got Victoria Monet,
Everybody, Lotto was
everybody.
out
They
there,
had Kiki
Glorilla,
Palmer.
right?
They have
Everyone, Chloe Bailey,
Panache.
everybody was there, and then
Everybody was
Normani,
there.
and this is your debut album. You have an album out,
Right, I know, I
and I'm just
know.
like, and I know that there's been a lot of talk about like people being like, well, y'all are being ableist, or Normani owes us nothing. But I'm just like, look, Normani, if we really want to get real, I know you love Beyonce. If Beyonce had hurt her fucking foot on the night of the BET Awards and her debut album came out, she would have been in a fucking chair performing Crazy in Love. Okay? Like, Beyonce would have figured that shit out. Literally this morning I was looking at a TikTok. It was like Beyonce was like hoarse, like visibly hoarse on TRL, talking like having to be like, I'm so sorry, I'm hoarse, da da da, and still got her ass up there and sang Independent Women, independently, whatever the hell it's called. And so it's just like the fact that Normani, it's like, you don't want it that bad, girl. I feel bad saying it like that, but I'm just like, I literally feel like Beyonce would have been in a fucking chair singing Dangerously in Love really quickly than rather on her debut album
I know, I
not perform
know,
at all at the BET Awards.
I know. I feel like maybe the pressure of it just gets too much for her. And like you said, like it's just she isn't able to meet these moments. My prayer is just that more moments keep like, that like she still can have her moment. Like,
Me
maybe at the
too.
VMAs, but like it really sucks. Like this was such a
But I guess I'm just like, how
Callie lay
like
down.
how long, like when is it too late? Like I just is my question, because it's just like, yes, we want this badly for Normani, but it's at a certain point it's just like, when is it too late? Like you had a whole, like you had months of rollout for this album, which was ineffective and really dropped the ball. The album comes out, I still don't see you everywhere. Like I know you have that one interview, but it's like the album is out, why are you still not on talk shows? Why are you still not doing hot ones? Why are you still not doing
You think
TikTok
she's
dance?
gonna come out and like
She
have
might, but
like a serious like anxiety problem or like mental
I
health
would love to hear
issues?
something like that at this point, because at this point I'm just like, and then it's like, okay, you're not doing any of those things. So now it's like, okay, good. Okay, she booked a performance, BET Awards, perfect time to do it. And then fucking gets injured and can't, and then like, and I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but it's like, I'm sorry, Normani. I love you, but you should have got your ass in a fucking chair and sat there and sang all yours. Like, tone it down, bring it down. And then I like, like literally sing on a fucking mic and be
Yeah, or do
done.
some AI shit or
Right. You
something.
should have done
I
something.
know. And I
Literally filmed just
just
your face with different, your face card is crazy. Face and just singing the song and doing all this in the camera. Bitch, what?
I know. I agree. I think that like, there is a thing where it's like, come on, girl, like just like, like, that's why I go to like anxiety or something, because maybe it's too much pressure or something, even though we've seen
Maybe.
her kill it before. But
We can't want it more than her. Like that's just something I've
I
like, we
feel
cannot
like
want it
in
more than
terms
you.
of answering your question about like, is it ever too late? I don't think that, like people, one thing I've noticed about like the chatter of, the people is just like people will always have things to say
That's
and
true.
time will pass and, things will speak for themselves. Like I feel like so many legends have gone through things where we just thought they were just done. Like I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
Tina Turner, just
Mm-hmm.
it's really, and she's young and life is long. I know it feels like this is it right now. And like if she doesn't, she's going to fall off. And like I have that fear as well, especially just, the odds of this industry. But I just hope that, I hope that her moment comes. And like, that's all we can do as a fan. And like, it is sad. Like, it's just like, damn, like, I mean, my life right now, I'm just like, God's plan is crazy. Like,
You know what?
this is
Like I
crazy.
said to you yesterday, it just might not be God's plan. Like for Normani to be a
Yes.
mega star, and maybe I have to accept that, because I'm like,
Or
I
maybe
just
just
know
not
for,
right
I really
now.
feel it in my soul that when we had, Beyonce, when she had that little BET performance, her first one where it was the Beyonce letters for Crazy in Love, if she had broke her fucking foot that night, she would have been in a fucking chair. They would have been reeling her around. I don't think there's any way in hell Beyonce wouldn't have performed injured. This girl performed pregnant with twins about to burst. Like, I don't know. It's just like in my mind, I'm
But
just
someone
like,
takes a little bit more planning. I agree with you though. We know Beyonce has done crazy
especially in her
things.
debut era, like when she
I
was hitting the
know when she
pavement.
was really wanting it.
Yes.
Again, I will say I I do feel like we're in a different times in terms of like no, I'm not gonna say that because I do see like the girls that just I'm watching this Dallas Cowboys thing and they like
Hmm.
want this more than anything. Um I just feel like again I'm just curious like what is going on behind the scenes. Like I would be really curious to see yeah, what's going on cuz it's just like yeah, there has to be something else like happening, It's
It's
like,
so sad.
and so I just am again observing and just being like, okay, okay, God. It's very frustrating though because we want to see her perform and it's just like, damn, you injured? Like, so we're not gonna be able to see you, but when's the
That's what
next
I'm
time I
saying.
see you?
Exactly. Like last time I saw you were in a fucking cast, bitch. Like when are we gonna see you? At this point,
Like,
like are you
seriously.
done? Are you done for the summer? Like, come on. Like at a certain point, you gotta want it
I do
bad.
agree though too, like the doing the it's like she hasn't been everywhere, which again just, and I don't want to speculate. This is really getting into our like, this is how we be talking on the phone. Like it makes me feel like, maybe there is like mental health things that she has to really respect,
Yes, but
in
like, yeah, I
terms of
get
her
you. I get you.
capacity.
I
Like
agree with
it's
that.
real,
But
like
I feel like, don't you think she should say something then? Like if it's
she
that,
might
I feel like
be, she might one day,
I hope so because I'm just like she leaves it up to wonder at this point because it's just like, well, this is the thing. If she, last time I saw her, she was in a cast. So if that's the truth, then she's gonna be MIA for the summer and she can't perform. Then what she
Let's
needs to
hope
be
it's
doing
a
is
eat
sitting
quick
her ass
energy.
in interviews. Sitting your ass in interviews at this point. This is the perfect time to be confined to a chair, okay? In front of a video camera with somebody because I'm just like,
Alexis.
we want to hear from you, Normani. Like, don't take this as hate. Like, literally, Camille, I told you, my cousin Camille was here last weekend, and she was like, you and Samantha deserve a check how much y'all push Normani. And I'm like, right? Like, we're pushing the album harder than she is. Like, we want you to be successful, but it's like, I'm sorry, you gotta want it. You gotta want it, girl.
Yeah, she
I
does
want
have to
it.
want it, and we can't want more than her.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll say again, maybe there is like that does take a lot of, scheduling and energy and like, like that schedule of being a performer and going to do interviews and late night and blah, blah, blah is a lot. And so that is why I'm just like, maybe her priorities are not this. Maybe her health or her, mental health or whatever. So like that's where she draws her line or whatever. And so, and
No.
I just also don't know her team. Maybe she doesn't have anybody that would rally around her and be like, okay, like let's change this in 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it
I
together.
hope
We
it's a
need
learning lesson for
this.
her then that she needs a team like
Yeah.
that around her because life is unpredictable and anything can happen. And what you
Yeah.
don't want to do is miss your moment.
I
Like, I feel like
know.
that's like the one
And
thing.
it sucks because I just feel like, because I think about like SZA, because she hasn't
Mm-hmm.
had like a perfect.
No.
I could see her canceling shows. Like we've had people that have had to cancel, but
I
she's
just feel
made it
like
enough, I guess.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a level of like you understand your level, and it's like in your debut era, you hit the pavement. I'm sorry, like head down, do the interviews, do
Mm-hmm.
the do the performances. You figure it out because it's just like this is what you're trying to build a strong foundation. Normani's foundation is already kind of holy, like pokey and holy because of the fact that
Mm-hmm.
people have been trolling it for 8 years, right? Like in 2018, you texted, I have the album, the title of my album. We did not get that album until 2024. People have been trolling her in those years, right? It's
Yeah.
just like you needed this to be flawless debut. And it's like you've had the time. I don't know. I love Normani, but it's just like I was so disappointed. I was just like, I don't know when we're gonna see her again. Cause like I said, last time I saw her, she had a cast on. So I don't think she can walk.
I just hope that she has a I hope again she does more interviews. I hope that she has a really vulnerable
Me
interview
too.
and like really goes there and like I don't know because it is painful to watch. Like it's painful to be a fan because it's like we want this and we love you and we feel like you deserve it and it's like
Yes, but I feel like the girlies just don't want like aren't like built like Beyonce. Like I literally am just thinking about that because I'm just like maybe Victoria Monet is like she's everywhere. She was supposed to do Governor's Ball. She like did Coachella. Like she's everywhere this summer. But I feel like they don't want it like Beyonce did. Like Beyonce, like we talk about all the time. Like interview every fucking day, performance once a week on live TV,
I
mic
mean,
on.
yeah.
Like I
I
don't.
I feel like Beyonce is definitely a it seems like people say like unhuman sometimes.
Mhm.
And people, there are like, there are people that have that level of dedication that like have
Mm-hmm.
given their life. And I feel like Normani has given her life, but like, it's like, do you want to be Kobe Bryant? Do you want to be
Right.
Beyonce? Like, that is a different level of
I
whatever.
agree.
And it's a lot. Like, I'll say for myself, like, I haven't found a career that I'm like willing to. I mean, this probably is like something like I stay up later and edit or
Oh,
whatever.
you're dedicated. You're definitely dedicated to
But
this.
like, shut up.
You are like that's something I can commend you on. Like you are
Okay.
definitely on it
Thank you.
when you're on time. So
Girl, do my part, okay? And I'm working on the time thing. But yeah, so I just think that
but is it so then what is the career? Then get out of this career. If this is not the career, Normani,
I mean,
that like
she's still
that puts
having
a flame under
success,
your but you're saying like we're talking about the dedication piece. Like if this is not the career that you want to like
but
go
everybody's
hard.
not
I
Beyonce.
get that, but she has talked about how she wants to be in like interviews on icon level. You know, Beyonce,
I
someone I look to
know.
for a career. So it's like, if you really want that, you would have been having
But
a mic
people
to
have
your
to be
fucking
real with
mouth
themselves.
yet the other day.
Some people have to be real with themselves and be like, okay, actually, I don't want my life to be anything like Beyonce's because that seems really stressful and
Hmm.
like, I thought I wanted that. I don't really, and like you have to learn that by trial and error. I feel
But
like.
do you think Beyonce? I feel like Beyonce enjoyed it. Like I know 16 Carriages,
Yeah,
she talks about the things she
she
missed, but I think
is
she enjoyed it.
she is a different person. Like she was meant to be Beyonce. Like
Hmm.
she is Beyonce because she has this capacity
Hmm.
that I feel like the average person honestly doesn't have. Like, and maybe it's her birth chart, maybe it's because she's a Virgo, maybe like it's all these
Maybe
things.
it's Maybelline.
Like maybe it's sacred. Like,
Maybe there's a shark in the water. Sorry, I'm just thinking of all the like lyrics I know.
oh my god, but yeah, like it's just like everybody is not built like that. And I'm just saying because it's just like, okay, what if I was given that talent and I really wanted to be a star, and then I realized like, okay, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to
Mm-hmm.
think of it from like her perspective as like a human on this journey of like what that means for her to not be at these things, you
I get
know?
that, but then I guess it's just like I respect it, but in my mind I'm like, okay, then be prepared to like to deal with the consequences of this, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's fine. Every like rest, maybe mental health is there, all the things. That's fine, but just don't expect them to be
Or you just have to
have a star as bright as Beyonce because you won't. Like it's just like you won't. People are trolling her. You know
let
what I'm saying? Like people are
I
trolling
know,
her.
but you can't care. I mean, people
You
are
can't, but I'm just
always are
saying
gonna say shit.
I agree,
So
but I'm just saying it's kind of like, like a grown ass woman decision. It's like, yeah, if you make this choice, be okay with the consequences. The consequences
hmm
are that like some people
and she seems like she might
your
be.
isn't going to reach as far as it could because you're not promoting it
Right,
anywhere. That's
right,
just what
right.
it is.
Yeah.
And so,
And she
you know,
said on her interview, she's like all the things that like the fans are saying, it's like there's like a reason behind, and like, we want to do all these things that y'all want us to do or whatever. But I'm just like,
I don't
again,
believe
I
it.
don't know what's happening in the background. I also agree it's like really frustrating, but again, I think yeah, like you said, like she'll have to just deal with, I just I'm hoping that she has a vulnerable conversation with somebody so that we can get some understanding of like what's been, and she has, but like even in this era, like she should have another interview that comes out soon. Like, and somebody I hope would ask her about the BET Awards.
Yeah, it is what it is. We're
It's
rooting for you, but
frustrating.
girl, if you get another chance to perform this fucking summer and you still got that cast on your foot,
Oh
get in
my
a chair,
god.
put a long dress on, get the mic on and sing all yours at the bare minimum, or pre-record something where your face card is amazing, where they're up close on your face and you look sexy and you're dancing and there's colors in the back,
I
whatever. You need
know.
to be promoting
It's
the album.
I'm just like, I'm sad because it's just like,
It is what it is.
Candy Paint is gonna come out, the video, but it's just like, I hate this
And she
rain
won't
that
even be
is
able to
on the
dance.
parade. But
She won't
the
even be able to
video is gonna
dance.
come out, so maybe that'll like maybe that'll turn our direction towards like something positive. But
I can make it tick tick.
one thing that's one thing that one thing I'm realizing is like, I think the noise of social media is so loud that like like how Beyonce and people, like, you can just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
just always gonna be there. Like, somebody is always gonna have she's snoring. Um, yeah. Like, I just feel like somebody's always gonna sorry, I like lost my train of thought.
It's
What was I
okay.
talking about?
Let's transition.
What was I talking about though? What was I just saying?
Something about Normani. It's fine. We both checked out. Let's just move on. Let's move
Oh
on because we're already at 40 minutes. So let's just move on.
okay. Who else is on
Let's.
trial this
I
week,
want to put on
Alexis?
dog owners on trial. Let's talk about some dog owners for a second.
We're gonna talk about dog ownership
This is my whole thing.
from
Like,
personal opinions and our
I
personal
just feel like don't get a
experiences.
dog. This is my whole thing. I feel like a lot of people, when I was thinking of getting a dog, I was like, okay, I want a small dog. And everybody was like, oh, you don't want a big dog. They're so cute. They're so
Who
fun.
said
And like,
that?
Julia said that. I feel like I had other people in my life just being like, oh, don't you want, like, there's a lot of cool big dog breeds. And it's just
They
like,
know that you were scared of dogs as a kid.
I don't know if they knew that, but I do know that there's this whole culture I feel like around big dogs, like big dog culture. Like you're a family with like a golden retriever, you're a family with this, you're not
Yeah,
like a
but you're a
family with a
single
Shih Tzu.
woman, you know?
Right, but my point
I would
is when I
assume that
was
you would get a
trying to
small
get
dog.
a
But anyway, go
dog,
ahead.
when I was trying to get a dog, I was like, I want a dog I can control. So I made sure that I did my research, that I got a dog that fit my lifestyle, and I could physically control the dog. Because I know as a person who used to be scared of dogs, that the scariest fucking thing is to see somebody who has no fucking control over their dog, and you're uncomfortable to be around it. And
Mm-hmm.
so and then also they're uncomfortable around it. I've seen some dog owners who are scared to like correct their dog. Like say their dog is growling and they don't want to like put their
I know,
hand in
but you
there.
saw the video on. Did I send you that video on
Maybe I gotta check. I gotta
Twitter?
check.
Like the
But
dog was like, I did. I sent it to you. The
but
dog was like
that
growling at
and so
her.
that's my thing.
4, 3, sit down. No. Sit. No. Bishop, stop. Bishop, stop. It's okay.
With dog owners, like I feel like some
Yeah.
people end up with dogs that they cannot control, and it just baffles me, and it
Don't
just
have
honestly
time
pisses me
for.
off because it's just like it gives the dog a terrible quality of life because
Yeah.
you end up not having to restrict their life and their schedule and their things they can do because you can't control them in those settings. And then
Mm-hmm.
secondly, it fucks up your life. Like I'm thinking about, I know someone, I won't say names, who has a dog who literally like tore like ligament in their fucking shoulder because they can't control the fucking dog on a leash. And it's just like, why did y'all get a big ass dog when you knew you were probably not in the physical shape to control it?
I
And so I don't
know.
know. It's just like it's something that just irritates me because I feel like people really just like don't honor dogs as like living
Yeah.
beings. They just see them as things that can enhance their life rather than like you
Mm-hmm.
also have to enhance theirs.
Yes.
And
Oh
it
my
fucking pisses me
goodness.
off.
It does. Oh my god. Like we talk about this a lot just because obviously we have dogs, but yeah, I mean, I think people make the decision to get a dog. It's like so emotional and selfish most of the time, it's not really
Absolutely.
taking into consideration like the time and care and like, because seriously, dogs are literally basically like 2-year-olds. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how far their brain goes or something. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember very obviously smart, but they need you. Like they need you a lot. They need you more than a cat, even though people don't need to be getting cats if they can't give them a good life either. But like, yeah, I think people make the decision very emotionally, like you said. Like there's
Absolutely.
nostalgia of like the type of dog or it's
Yeah,
the look or it's
absolutely.
I need the love, I need to fill this hole up, I need to
Absolutely.
whatever. And then all the other stuff about like this dog's personality and breeds and like needs is out the window. Now you have this dog and like
Mhm.
it's definitely important to do your research when you get a dog because they all are different and there's so
Absolutely.
many little things that you have to take into consideration. And
Absolutely.
also, last thing I'll say is like, you know, every dog is going to take training, like
Mhm.
every single dog is going to
Mhm.
need training. Like
Mhm.
it's a animal that's like you're domesticating basically.
Yes.
And so
And
I'm just like, and what I want to say is like some people, yes, like I feel like you and even me like are blessed with like generally sweet, just easy to train dogs. Even though you could tell your experience about Mella when you got her, because I know you had to train her a lot, and the puppy days were hard. But I just feel like you never know what you're gonna get, and you have to be like willing to like be like, okay, like this might be hard, this might take a long time, this will take a long time. Like you're
mhm.
gonna be training basically forever. Like
Mhm.
you get to where your dog is gonna be, just older, just does the things. But I'm definitely at 1 years old with Jupiter. He is a teenager. He needs rearing. Okay.
And right, and just like I don't know, it's just so selfish, and it's just
It's
so
very
selfish. Like you're picking
selfish.
the dog based off of aesthetics. Well, we're a big dog family. We always have bigger dogs. We never had a small dog, so we can't get a small. It's like you're 50, you're 65. Get a fucking
Mm-hmm.
small dog because now this fucking dog only gets a 15-minute walk instead of what it
Mm,
should have
right.
because you're just wanted the aesthetic. Like,
It
and
is
it's just
very cruel. Like
it's
think
so
about
fucking
you
cruel.
have these long legs. You're an animal. You're meant to run,
Right. And
and
you're
you have
in
to
some old
cut
ass
up in the
people's
house.
house. Right. And
Yes.
just like walk the dog. Like, I don't know. It just pisses me off too when people don't give their dogs the proper walks. Like, can you imagine sitting in a fucking house all fucking day and you only see those four walls unless you pee for 1 minute? Like,
Mm. And
it's so fucking cruel.
the dogs and stuff are dependent on us. Like I think I reposted a video recently about it was just like dogs don't have their own like willpower. Like we take them everywhere.
Mhm.
We feed them, so it's our responsibility to just cater to these dogs
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
love them, like especially if you're choosing to get an innocent animal. It's like, and it's really, and like I get it, like being a dog owner is definitely, that's what you're getting yourself into. You're just like, yep, I know I'm gonna have to walk him every day, multiple times a day, rain, sleet, snow, cold, hot. Like it's like you have to do it. And it's like you have to have a standard for yourself, because I feel like as humans we get lazy and we're just like, okay, like they'll be okay. It's like, no, bitch, like get up and let this dog have a good life. And that's the thing like about it. It's just about them having a good life. They only have but so many years, and like we are their lives, like
We are. It's just so fucking selfish. Like I could literally did like what is it called? Never talk to someone again based off of how their dogs. Like sometimes some people have to just not tell me how they treat their dogs
I
because I really could
know.
never talk to them. Like I have a couple people that I'm probably like if I actually knew the full extent of how they treated their dogs, I
Mm,
probably would never speak to them again because I'm
I
just like
know.
for something that does nothing but like is happy to see
Mm.
you and literally just like
Loves
lives
you.
around you and loves you, for you to not do your best and all to give them like the most perfect life is insane to me. Like, of course I didn't enjoy going to do two different fucking puppy classes for Mello, but I did it because she needed to learn and it was really fun for her. Of course there's times where I didn't until this year I was doing 3 walks a day. Now I've been doing 2. But it's like, of course, there's times where I don't want to do the full 30 minutes, but I do it because I'm like, these are her only 30 minutes she gets outside. Why would I cheat her
Mm-hmm.
of that? And it's
Yes.
just like, it's just fucked up. And like, please stop getting dogs just based off of like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go to retrieve or all. It's like, no, if you cannot, and this, it's just like, yes, the dog can sit. That doesn't mean you have control of the dog. Just because the dog can fucking sit. Yes, the dog can lay down. That doesn't mean you have control of your dog. I'm talking on a leash. Is the dog next to you on a loose ass leash? That is, you have control. The dog's not pulling your ass. I'm talking about in a public setting. If I walked into a fucking coffee shop with the dog, is it pulling me across the floor or are we walking in like normal? You have control of your dog. It's just annoying to me because I feel like some people are just like, well, they're sweet. It's like sweetness is not having control of the dog, honey. Like
Mm-hmm.
any dog can be sweet. You need to
Oh
actually be able to
no. And
control
they
it
are
though.
like that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they might be sweet and jump up and knock over an 80-year-old lady.
Knock
Like,
your
you
ass
know.
down. Knock your ass down. For real.
Yeah, it's definitely levels. And yeah, it is really sad. Like, we've talked about people in my apartment that freaking,
Oh
they
yeah.
work. Like this woman,
Hmm.
or I don't want to like say
Don't say
any
too much,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, but like they have a dog and they're the sweetest lady. Like, it's like the dog's sweet. Like, I know she loves her dog and she works a lot. So the dog is barking all day
Huh.
long. And this dog is old, Alexis. Like, she's like 13 or something. Like, when she
Hmm.
told me
I
the age,
believe
I
it.
was, I was like, oh my God, she looks amazing. Like, she did not look that like that. But she barks all day long. I'm like, this dog's barking for hours when you're not here. I'm like, do you know that's happening? Like,
Pay for your dog to go to fucking daycare. Like, don't sit here and make your dog's life miserable. If you knew you were
oh
gonna be
my
out that
God.
fucking much, you should have made sure you had expenses for daycare. Like, literally for me, I was a fucking PhD student. And I was like, if I don't have anyone to watch Mello and I'm at classes all day and she's a puppy, I need to be investing in daycare. I literally put money aside so I could send her to
Mm-hmm.
Dogtopia. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
need, like, I don't know. It's sad to me. I'm like, what kind of parent will you be? Like, if it's like if you're willing to just kind of shrug off a living being at this point and like cheat them and half-ass it, what kind of parent will you fucking be? Because I'm just like, and I know that's harsh, but it's just like I literally look at, like, I feel an emotion for Mello that I have never felt like before. It's like it's truly like an unconditional like mother daughter love, bond.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not. It's like having it's like a baby. I'm sure, but it's like I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
humans even more. But I'm just saying, like, it's a different type of thing, and I can't imagine shrugging off this dog. And so it's
I
just so
know.
interesting to me. I'm like, yeah, what kind of parent will you be? Because I'm like, you clearly it's just weird. Like, it's just very strange to
Yeah, I
me.
mean, people definitely don't think about dogs like living beings, sadly. Like, there's definitely, I have learned a level of, there's levels to it. There's people like us where we like
They not
cherish.
like us.
Yes, like we honor these beings. And like I've heard somebody say like like the amount of animals that like you treat good in your life, or like it's like blesses you because it really is a
Mm-hmm.
labor of love. And so I just really take pride in just all the dogs that I've had, and like just, you know dogs that I could take care of in my family. And then like now to
Mm-hmm.
have my own dog, it's like um I kind of forget where I was going with that,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I just think that it is important. And
Honor your fucking dogs,
yeah,
bitches.
like don't. And also, just there's options like rehome this dog. Don't be selfish. Like this, like I know you love it. I know it's gonna hurt, but if you can't take care of it, like somebody else will. Okay, like
That's true.
we know
Somebody else is
that
like,
Callie
mm-hmm.
is we won't get into her whole story, but this dog is a literal princess. Okay. She is literally like spoon fed damn near.
You're
Like,
right. Somebody else will. I think that's like a really good lesson.
like, people really are, and you really gotta think about the length of time of like, this is years of time, and like you said, expenses. Like, I don't think people think about, what a dog does all day. And like, I'm blessed to have Danielle and have Callie to be able to like take him over here, and like that he's playing with another dog, and like we've done our classes and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot. Like, it these days, like, oh yeah, that's what I was kind of wanting to say. There's levels to people. Like, I know in like Aruba, there's like a really bad dog problem. There's like rescues for them. Like, people leave their dogs outside all day. Like, they just don't. People, I know, like, dehumanize isn't the right word, but like, it's just like they don't value these animals. And so,
Absolutely.
and some people just literally, like, I remember Sia when Miko passed, like, I was so obviously just hurt. And Sia was like, she said something like, like her family or somebody had like a dog, and like when the dog died, they just got another dog. Like, it was just called Dog. Like, it's just crazy. Like,
That is
people are wild.
Let's wrap it up though. We're almost at an hour.
Yes. Like, long story short, take care of your dogs. Don't get a dog if you can't take care of them. They are the most precious beings in the world, and they deserve the world. Okay.
The world. All right.
I'm tired. Okay.
Me too.
We
I have to
love
take the dogs out to
you.
pee.
Make sure,
Unfortunately. Go
make
ahead.
sure you email us at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week.
We'll be back. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcasts. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.